With the coronavirus spreading around the world and social distancing keeping us apart to contain it, it's no surprise that many of the world's biggest gatherings have been postponed or cancelled. This year's Electronic Entertainment Expo, or E3 2020, was among them. By my count, we've had 25 E3s, and considering the show's unraveling relevance in the gaming industry, that seems like a nice round number to go out on, permanently. Going to E3, once the mecca of all things gaming, had been my schoolboy dream, and over the years I wound up going to 5 of them. 2 of them at its peak when I worked retail, one right after the tiny Santa Monica years when we shot our E3 documentary, Infinite Lives, link in the description below, and 2 as the show was in decline, but with media credentials. Needless to say, I got to see the show from a variety of perspectives. Going to the show in 2004 with a few friends was my first road trip that didn't include family, and it was my first time going somewhere as dense, busy, and humid as downtown Los Angeles. It was stressful, but getting onto the show floor and playing unfinished games, or spending hours in line to get an autograph from Adam Sessler or the Penny Arcade guys was worth it. Well, I thought so back then. Those years were loud and crowded, with booths pulling out every trick to attract passers-by. On more than one occasion, I saw the fire marshal clearing out packed aisles to make sure fire code was enforced. We ran around grabbing as many free t-shirts and tchotchkes as we could get our hands on, and went home having seen theater presentations that blew our minds, like Alan Wake or the first presentation of Unreal Engine 3. E3 was getting big and bloated, so the ESA scaled it back in 2007 and 2008. In 2009, it returned to the Los Angeles Convention Center, but in a format size that settled between the two extremes. The giveaways had been slimmed down, the booth shows had been almost entirely excised, the food was still way too expensive, but it was a lot easier to get around. It felt a lot less like a gaming festival. Getting media badges in later years meant seeing whole new sections of the convention center where companies held meetings behind closed doors in quieter quarters. It also meant getting into the back sections of floor booths to see games after weeks of emailing dozens of PR contacts. I learned a lot from this because the gaming gawker asshole me of 2004 and 2005, who only came for the thrill of it, was now usually in my way, and annoying as hell in 2012 and 2013. While they were focused on the spectacle, I actually had work to do for my outlet to pay the bills. When my next appointment is on the far side of the convention center, you should stop crowding the halls and demo stations so I can do what I need to do. It was becoming clear that the show was losing its touch. Yes, E3 was still important for the industry, but the show floor was vacating more and more with each passing year as the big publishers dropped one by one in favor of their own precisely planned media reveals throughout the year or elsewhere in town. If you're not in Los Angeles, the press conferences are the biggest deal about E3, and those can be executed in so many other ways. So what do you really need a show floor for? What do you really need an E3 for? The times are changing and E3 hasn't changed with them. The competition, shows like any number of the PAXs or Germany's Gamescom, has been stacking up for decades and provide a better value for traveling gamers, while everyone else can enjoy the best of E3 from home. If we really aren't going to miss this year's E3, is there really any good point in bringing it back?